Hey everybody, it's Will, and we're back with another episode of Creators Outlet. Tonight's roundtable. Joining me is Pops Van Zant and Eric VT. Welcome, guys. Thanks for joining me. Tonight we're
Great to
going to
be
have
here.
a little discussion about has Hollywood destroyed the comic book industry?
Is that
No,
the
that's
way
not
I
what I'm here
worded it?
for.
Is that the way I worded it? I don't think I was quite that harsh about it, but yeah.
Destroyed or annihilated?
Or is ruining, I think, was
Oh, it's ruining.
is ruining is I think the term I used.
Is it the new word infection? Infected?
Yeah, they're.
It's like it's kind of weird because at first it was just how it affected the speculation game. You know, a movie's coming out. Oh my God, the books went up. Oh my God, the movie's flop. Oh my God, the books went down.
Mhm.
At first, it just affected the speculation and the comics, but you all know that since then, with different people's opinions about how things are supposed to be run, that now it's like you have two huge corporations that could care less about comic books. All they care about is making movies. You know?
Well, I think the only thing they really care about the comic books is potentially getting new characters or changing the characters to be able to apply them over and over and over again, right? So that's the only reason I think they still, especially Warner. Warner, is it Warner still with DC?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, AT&T owns Warner.
yeah. Who owns who, right? So I know the mouse owns Marvel. I know that much.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But
it's
yeah,
just
I mean that's the only reason they are keeping, I think, some of the comic books alive.
that's
Yeah, they
It's not,
just
it's not
they just wanna
entertainment
go to-
value necessarily.
no, it's monetary value. They're
An IP.
yeah, they just want those IPs. Like I interviewed Rylan Grant just after his Kickstarter for Jump launched, and he told me straight out because he came from Hollywood. He was a screenwriter for some of the biggest names out there, and they don't want screenplays anymore. They want IPs that they can farm the living hell out of. So that's why himself and a bunch of other people that had actually worked for like all these big conglomerates, whether it's streaming services, the studios, worked for producers or directors out in Hollywood. They're all flipping over to the comic book game. That way they can if they get a big hit on their hands, they know they're gonna sell to somebody.
yeah, it's I just want them if they're not gonna stay true to source, which they don't. It's like they use the comics to sell the movies, but they don't give the comic fans the movie we want. They give the hopefully new movie fans the eye candy that they expect.
They just want to put asses in the seat.
Yeah.
That's
And,
all. That's all it's about.
Explosions and eye candy, and there's no real content. I was really disappointed that Warlock never showed up in the Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And
I mean,
and the comic book, the Marvel and DC themselves, I also think didn't take advantage as much as they could have from the movies. I mean, you can see the popularity in certain characters, like Iron Man was never in the top 10 popular, or borderline top 10 popular character. And then when Iron Man came out, boom, he went to probably about the fifth, fourth, third most popular character for a long time there. And what did Marvel do with that? Not much.
killed him.
Yeah, right. I mean, Iron Heart. What's an Iron Heart, right? Is that the name?
Yeah, that's Riri. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, they wanted to kill Iron Man before certain people came out with, aren't you the guy that was in blackface in that movie with Tom Cruise?
Another way.
I'm a dude. What's playing a dude? What's playing another dude?
Another way that the barriers that have been raised are just ruining everything, man. You know?
Mhm.
I mean, it's like, come on.
Well,
Somebody said something about
I mean,
comedians, and then they
yeah.
posted up a comedian who's really just a political pundit now, and I was like, no. I said comedians, and I put up Andrew Dice Clay. Oh, a comedian. Somebody that made you laugh. Richard Pryor. Somebody made you laugh, and they didn't have to worry about being canceled for what they said.
I can't quite do this anymore. I don't know why.
I'm not even going to try,
So
man. My arm and my wrist and elbow got so messed up the other day, man.
No.
Freaking dog fight.
I used to be able to do that really good. I used to have a good Dice impersonation back then.
But it's like they were
20
funny.
years ago when I could still make my arm go like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Nope, not gonna do it. Too old. That's okay.
Well, you get the comics fans know that it's not going to translate and be the story it was in the comics.
Well, for me now, it's got because I'm trying to keep it comics, and it's like now I don't want to give them speculation bumps. I don't want, because I just think that it's really not helping the comic industry just because a movie's coming out that this character gets a huge bump and these books are getting speculated high, and of course people are buying them, and then 2 months from now they lost 50, 60, 70, 80 bucks on a book that somebody just said was going to be a special book because of the movie.
It's funny how the speculation, the price actually hits, selling comic books as I do, the speculation, the prices jump like when the rumor first comes out, or when the trailer comes out and the character is featured.
Mm-hmm.
But once a movie hits, you start to see the downturn a little bit usually, unless it's someone like Gamora, who was a nobody character, and then all of a sudden,
Popular.
Or even Star-Lord, or Rocket was always kind of popular, but the minor characters that just keep their popularity, they keep going up a little bit. But like if it's not so hot, it's definitely big downturn.
Yes, and to me that hurts us, the comic fans, especially in the the collector, because I'm a collector, the collector's market. Okay, I don't collect to flip. I collect to have it in my collection. I don't want to pay some ridiculous price for a book and then it not be worth that later. Or, it's like it's hard. You want to wait 5 years and see if it held on to its value. This is what I get in my argument with my son about. Is like sometimes, he likes to be right on top of the current things. He's a Venom fan, and he's that Venom book every week, or every month, whatever. He's on that.
Oh, he's a sheep.
I'm a Thor fan. I'm the same way. Okay, I'm gonna get the Thor book if it's if it's decent storyline. I'm gonna get it, and it ends there. It used to be a big old stack, but now it's down to the two characters that we care about the most, because we're not jumping on every speculation train.
Exactly.
He used to do that. He used to jump on every speculation train. It was like new stuff coming out. He likes to get it. He likes to get it. He likes to get it. I'm like, I'm over here buying stuff that's been around for 20 years and has held on to its value.
Oh, you can't go wrong with like Silver Age or anything like that. That's
See, that's the difference in our collecting. It's like he sees them new flashy covers, and I see old stuff that's held its value for a while and probably always will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And speaking of the covers, it seems like a lot of people now basically are collecting the covers more than
that pisses me off.
And stories, So that's good for people that sell comics, and that might be one of the reasons some retailers are still might be in business. But you got two different type of collectors sometimes, and then you got people who enjoy the covers and the stories.
Yep.
So
it's good. It's good to do both. Okay.
But when you have 100, like, did you guys? Oh,
It's-
well,
and give me some good covers to choose
I mean,
from.
the cover sells the book, right? The cover sells the book, and then the story keeps it coming back for more.
Yeah.
But did you guys see how many covers they got for the Eternals thing?
40.
Is it 40? I thought I just
Now-
looked at it. It looked like about 400.
Well, it probably is.
Yeah, right.
Let me clarify this.
Can I do a cover?
Marvel itself is releasing 40 covers.
Oh,
Oh,
that's not counting store exclusives or anything.
Oh, the store exclusives are killing me. What's killing me more is it used to be the trade dress. And, I've been collecting comics since, 1974. And, they made up these new terms. And I'm like, trade dress? What the hell is that? He goes, the one with the letters on it? They go, yeah, I just call that a comic book. That's just a regular comic book. He goes, well, the other one's a virgin, right? I go, yeah, just like all the people buying it. Woo!
So here's a question, since we're talking about like the movie industry and the comic books. Do you think the movies, like the popularity of the movies, had anything to do with like all the different covers or the virgin aspect of the covers visually, or do you think that's just them just trying to sell more books?
I think that's them trying to sell more books, because you have to realize that the people that are watching the shows on TV, whether it's like the animated stuff or, the TV shows, whether it's, Marvel or DC, and go into the movies, or, when we could go to the movies, they're not going and buying comic books. They might like the character and they'll want to show up when we can have Comic-Cons again, dressed up as their favorite character. But a lot of times, 9 out of 10 people don't know shit about the character. All they know is what they saw on the screen in that movie, or, the episode of the TV show they watched, or, what their kids told them about it.
The kids told me about it.
Well, our kids have to teach us to use our damn phones, so
No, I got Christy for that. Christy, how do I do this? It's actually pretty funny, because I look at it and I see the books and the multitude of covers. Okay, like let's just throw Polito up here as an example. Okay, I'm a budget guy. I can't go buy everything I want. I can't get the top tiers of the Kickstarters and shit. I'm a budget guy. Okay, I love Lady Death. I'm a big Coffin fan. So that means I'm down there at the lower tiers trying to find something I like, right? Well, the first time I got involved with a Kickstarter of Polito's, I liked the homage cover. So every time since then, I just naturally get the homage cover. That's just it. Now, Polito's nice enough to throw a copy of the book in there usually, so you can read it without messing with the one you collected. He throws a lot of extra stuff in there and tries to make it worth that $24 for that bottom tier.
Yeah, well, he'll give you the bag of garbage that he throws in with it, and some of it's got some cool stuff, like some of the pins behind you.
Oh yeah,
and a few other things. I could have gone without having to distract my daughter when she asked, "What's that shiny thing in the bag that came with your comics, Dad?" When he threw her Lady Death friggin' condom.
Oh wow, nice.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Brian.
You bet.
I might hitch a ride out to Arizona and just like smack him upside the head for that one.
No, that was classic. I didn't expect that either. That was great. But now I will say, for all those, let's see,
Wait, how much are those going for on eBay now?
For the 7
dirt cheap.
For the 7 homage covers that I bought, one of those times was thrown in the John Boy Myers Black Metal, number 13 of 13, which is the most rare comic book I now own.
Wow.
So I'm happy with all the other times I bought something from him, because randomly I got one of those in one of my packages. and that's worth more than all that shit put together. If I wanted to go try and sell it on eBay, which I never will, but I mean, those 13s are pretty hot. Those, there's a few sets of those metal books that are just 13 of them. He puts 10 of them in circulation. He keeps 3.
So does he randomly put them into packages just randomly?
Yeah, they're like blind envelopes.
Gotcha.
Okay. I mean, I never ordered it or anything, and there it was in my fucking package. It's on my wall now. I even emailed and sent him a message right away. I was like, did my son order that? And then I went and looked back at the campaign and realized that it was a random backer reward.
Very cool.
And he does it in all of his campaigns now, different artists, the metal books.
Well, what I've noticed he does with the homages is he'll include a black and white version of that book, like the regular version of that book, and he'll put it on the backside in the same poly bag and board.
Yeah. So you can read the book.
Yeah, I always get all of mine signed because I know you go and you take books to a lot of creators now, they're going to whack you like at least $25, 50 for Neil Adams to, and I'm like, oh man, so I'm like, which cracks me up because Jim Ballant doesn't charge to sign anything at cons. But if you order something off his website and you want it signed, it's an extra $15.
Would you do me a favor and drop the link in the group for me, bro?
Oh, from here?
Yeah.
Let me just.
Because I don't want to open up any other windows and find myself out in limbo trying to get my computer to reboot or whatever.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
Every time,
And he also sends you a PDF,
right?
Of the so you can read it long before you actually get your package in the mail. And I've gotten cool stuff like I've got that nice heavy metal Lady Death coin.
Yep, gotta have your coin.
And
as a matter of fact, speaking of Lady Death coins, the first ever appearance of a Lady Death coin is in Mojo Rising. For all Lady Death coin collectors, the only way you can get that one is to order the book. And yes, that's coffin approved. Brian Polito was totally cool. Let us coin up in our book, sitting at the bar, coin up. He's tops, man. He's cool.
Oh yeah, I've talked to him like many a time.
We're having a Monday Madness sworn special next week as well. Just so if anybody's paying attention, next week, 8 p.m., Monday Madness. It's going to be a sworn special. It's going to be some Coffin Comics people showing up. Looking forward to that. Haven't had him on one of my shows since the first CromCon, way back in April. Brian was involved in that, way back in April, and we haven't had any of them on in any of the cons or on any of the shows since then. It's gonna be like big birthday bash, man. Because my birthday's right around the corner.
Yep, he's gonna have all the candles on the cake, and fire department will be standing by.
Dude, that's gonna have to be a big cake, a big cake.
Well, you get all those kids and grandkids, so
Oh man, no, just one kid and all those grandkids. Just one kid, all those grandkids.
Well, you find something you like doing, and you just keep repeating it.
Yes. That's what they do. That's okay. They're fun.
Now I remember years and years ago when they did the first Sin City movie.
Okay.
How crazy good that movie was, and it was line for line out of the graphic novel.
It was pretty good. The way they did it was kind of the same way, artsy,
Hmm.
that Miller had done it in the book.
Yeah, the black, white, and red. Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to give you they tried to stay true to the source material. And that would make it wonderful if they would.
Which spoiled everybody going forward because now nothing is, like the source material.
Everything's
Well,
an offshoot or perverted version of the source material. It seems like
Yeah,
it's
we've got to change the characters, and
Well, the one that killed me was the Spider-Man one that had 3 different villains from 3 different eras in the same movie. you had Sandman and Venom and who Hobgoblin or Green Goblin, one of the two. All 3.
Harry is Green Goblin, kind of, yeah.
All 3 in the same movie.
Green Goblin the second.
They were all years and decades apart in the comics. How do they get in the same movie?
I think that I forget who did that movie, but he was kind of forced to put Venom in, even though he didn't really want to, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I would have went with Man-Wolf and Craven because they set Man-Wolf up with Mary Jane's fiance, who did that jump at the end of the second movie, and I was like, oh, he's Man-Wolf, right? He got the stone from the moon and all that, so they set it up perfect. And then Craven comes over from wherever he is to catch the Man-Wolf, and then Spidey shows up, and now he wants to catch Spider-Man. I thought it was just set up for that. You can kind of sneak in like the symbiote maybe into it towards the end, but you don't show Venom yet.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3. That was my idea for it. But we did get emo. We did get emo Spidey, so
Everybody hates that part, and that's my favorite part.
I love it now.
That was the most entertaining. That was the most entertaining of that whole movie.
But that was because he was a sucky Peter Parker.
I liked
that
him.
was the coolest he looked.
No, I liked him as Peter. I liked all the characters. I thought they did great.
I wasn't a fan. I haven't been a fan of any of the Peter Parkers yet because I think they could do better. I mean,
I was kind of hoping in those old Spider-Man movies. I was kind of hoping that MJ would dump him, and he would fall into a slump, and then end up nailing the landlord's daughter across the hall that was always baking him cookies. I'm like, Mary Jane just gets her, she's just an Instagram model. I mean, she looks good and everything, but she's just an Instagram model. I go, this girl can cook. What's wrong with you?
I thought they were going to make her Mary Jane when I first saw her. I was just like, I mean, not Mary Jane, Gwen. I thought they were going to make her Gwen when I first saw her.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, thank God they didn't do that.
Yeah. She's a little goofy looking for that.
So, what of all the movies do you think was closest to, other than Sin City, which we already discussed, which of the comic genre movies has actually elicited a response in you where you walked out and you went, that was pretty damn good?
Second Nolan
Batman. It happened once or twice, maybe. Say again?
The second Nolan Batman.
Was that all Heath for you, or?
Well, I mean, look at my tag name, Joker fan. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll get, because I like Heath. This is the best Joker too. Well, I like Jack as the best Joker, but I think Heath did the most with the part.
My problem with Jack is Jack doesn't act. He just repeats lines back to the camera because this is how I am all the time.
It was perfect. He was the perfect guy for the role.
Yeah, Heath is definitely my favorite Joker. And,
yeah, well, he did the most with the part, but I like Jack because he brought back Caesar for me.
Yeah.
He brought.
Except without the mustache, right?
That was when we were little kids, right? Okay, our
Except
Joker
without
was
the mustache,
Caesar.
though, right?
Yeah. Okay, but you know what I'm saying? Our Joker was Caesar, and Jack was the one that like brought him back to life for me for a minute. I was like, yeah, Jack did that pretty good.
Yeah, Burton, right? Tim Burton did that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Tim Burton.
it was.
Yeah, he really went towards that the show and the comic-y feel for the movie, and he implemented that well, and for that time frame, that was just awesome, And he didn't, a lot of people didn't like it at the time, but he blew it out of the park, man.
The only thing I was mad about at that movie is they killed him at the end.
Yeah. Although, was he really dead? Or was he the first Joker or the second Joker? It's like,
Yeah.
there's three now, right? I don't know. Yeah.
Are they ever really dead?
Nope.
So I'm a sucker for the comic book movies, even the SJW type ones, like Captain Marvel. I'm kind of a sucker for just about anything that's put out there for the most part. I do like Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 1 and 2, especially the second one. Not necessarily it was like close to source material or anything. Probably, I don't know how close it was, but 300 also. Same aesthetic as Sin City. 300 was amazing, and I don't know how close it was to source material.
Frank Miller,
another Frank Miller, but I can't recall how close it was to source material. But that movie, that was pretty badass, and I think it was like that comic-y feel. Also, the same type of Sin City, aesthetic, like I said.
There are a whole bunch of half-naked guys with sharp implements of destruction killing each other.
So, yeah, a whole bunch of
you get the guys like us in the theater for the violence and the comic book, connection, and then you got all the girls because it's like a fireman's swimsuit calendar for them.
So what about the Marvel movies? Let's take the Marvel movies and ask the same question. Like the more recent Marvel movies, like
as the MCU,
as the new current MCU universe.
Okay, so you get the solo movies because that's Feige's thing. Do the solo movies and then introduce the team aspect in for Avengers. And the first Iron Man movie I thought was great. The next two, lick the sweat off a dead man's balls. I kind of like the Thor movies, but I thought that you could take all three of those and mush them together to make like one.
That's what they did. That's what they screwed up, was turning Ragnarok into World War Hulk. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's two entirely different storylines, and they should have never combined them. It was the worst thing. I'm a Thor fan. That's the worst thing they could have done. Those were two separate movies, completely separate movies. Where was the Midgard serpent? Ragnarok? No serpent? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
Oh my God!
I'm just saying. That was my opinion of that particular movie. It was like, that was World War Hulk.
Yeah, it totally was World War Hulk. I mean, I love Thor. Hulk is my childhood favorite. So I gravitate towards Hulk the most as far as characters are concerned. So when I saw the Hulk, I was excited, but then I was just like, this isn't Ragnarok. This is like Simonson Thor, and all that. And so I totally see what you're saying there.
Yeah, they should not have mashed those two together.
No.
Now,
I think the best solo movies were the Captain Americas.
I like the Cap.
I couldn't get into the first Captain America movie for some reason. It was just, I don't know why. But the second was Winter Soldier, right?
Winter Soldier, and then they went into Civil War.
Yeah. Civil War, except in the comic books you have like dozens of characters on each side, kind of, right, going towards each other.
You get dozens of characters on each side. You also have 300 comic book issues that made up that run for the year. Because it's Marvel. Everything's a crossover. You can't miss this. Whoops,
That's why they lost me.
We need 20 more miniseries to complete this.
That's why both companies lost me, man. I mean, I'm not buying 10 titles I don't care about to get 2 panels of a story from the story I do care about. Okay,
that's the other problem. A lot of times, a lot of the movie fans did pick up comics, but then you have like Bendis writing something, and it's like, 15 pages of talk, and like maybe 1 page of action or something. It's like nothing happens hardly in some of these books, and it's like, why am I reading this? I could read a novel or something, or it's nothing compared to the movie.
Yeah,
you need action in these comics. You need like the 60s, 70s, 80s, something happening.
Yes.
And those big splash pages and exciting stuff, man.
I don't care what dude's having for dinner or why his old lady's mad at him. I want to know what villain he's supposed to be out whooping on right now.
Unless it's the Fantastic Four, written by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. I love the family atmosphere there, but man, yeah, you got Luke Cage.
But even that family atmosphere had Ben and Johnny going at each other.
Yeah,
you still had the action that was missing during the family episode, during the family little prologue or whatever. That action was still there.
Yeah, it's fun. That's actually one thing that the first Fantastic Four movie got right. I liked what they did with Johnny and the Thing in that a lot, actually.
That was the only thing they got right.
Well, Doctor Doom has been ruined forever so far in the movie.
When you take all 3 of the Fantastic Four movies that they've botched, and you take the best parts out of all of them, I still kind of like the Roger Corman one better. Because we all knew it was going to be garbage.
Man.
But at that point in time, we were like, Fantastic Four movie, really? And then, as we're watching the bootleg coffee at the comic shop, and we get to a scene where we're waiting like almost the entire movie for Johnny Storm to scream "Flame on," and that whole action sequence with him goes on. And we stop, look at each other, and goes, dude, this is the Fleischer Superman. And it was.
It was.
He stole it and special effected over it. So yeah, instead of Superman, we're just going to add some flames on top so we can't actually see Superman, and we'll go from there. The Avengers movies, I love the first one because the first one was, magic. I hated the Ultron one. And then the last 2, I liked the first one and I did not care for the second one.
Okay, well, Avengers is one of my things that I collect. A lot of them, of course,
I'm sorry.
Well, see, my problem with these movies is, again, source material. I'm an Avengers fan. I want to see the stuff that I read about. I don't want to see somebody's interpretation of what we read about.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't want to see you leaving out major characters in storylines, like the Midgard Serpent and Adam Warlock. And I'm not even going to go on because the list is too damn long of major characters that get forgotten and left out of storylines. Hey, if you're going to make another movie later on, great. Use this one for a tie-in. Introduce him. Adam Warlock should have been introduced to the MCU in that last movie. And it didn't happen. And is it going to happen now? Well, are they going to bring Black Widow back? Or not Black Widow, but Gamora. Is Adam going to bring her back? What's going to happen? Okay, because it's not source material that they're going to be drawing off. They're going to be creating something entirely new.
What storyline would you like to see the most, or what character that they did not include would you like to see the most besides Warlock?
Well, definitely Ragnarok. I would love to see that movie with the actual battle between the Midgard serpent and Thor, dude. You know,
But
as
for Avengers, that's more
for the
strictly.
Avengers, I want to see the Avengers Defenders crossover
Hmm.
from back in the 70s. The first thing that got me into comics.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah, that was the story. I chased spinner racks all over the place trying to get that whole story. Because it
Nice.
was in two different titles. I caught onto it at the end of it in the Thor versus Hulk episode, which is like the 9th book in the story. So I was looking in the backs of spinner racks all over the neighborhood, trying to find the rest of those books.
Very cool.
And I do have them all now, not the same books, but I do have that story right now. I'd love to see that. Surfer, Namor, Strange, and you know, and the Hulk and Mantis and Swordsman and all them people, Hawkeye, all that would have been such a great, because you got just like Civil War, you got 10, 12 characters. You got 10 or 12 characters, you know, that you use. And you wouldn't have been leaving anybody out. You could have included everybody in the story and had that battle between, you know, you had, I think Cap fought Namor, and you know, it's like it was great. Everybody had an opponent. The two teams lined up against each other, and they were fighting for the evil eye. And Loki was the one that manipulated the whole thing, and it was a perfect story, a great movie, easily done. No, that's what I've done. That's how you introduce the Defenders into the MCU. Is you have them come fight the Avengers for the evil eye.
No.
And then you got Namor, and you've already got Strange in the Hulk, but then you get to introduce Namor, you get to introduce the Swordsman, just a few other people, you know.
Loki would have been perfect with Hiddleston. I mean, he does make a good Loki. I mean,
I love him. I think he's great. I use his meme, or I use that GIF all the time. It's madness. Just because of my group, the Madness. There's certain comic-related things that do not escape me, and I use them on a regular basis.
Yep, we all have our favorite gifts, I think, from comics. That's for sure.
The one, especially the one of Thor after he gets that image of Hulk, and he's like, "Oh, that's in my brain now." I use that one a lot too, because people post stuff and it's like, "Oh, that's brain now." I want to see that, you know. But there it is.
Now, what would you have liked to have seen done as a movie for Avengers storylines, Eric?
Oh boy, put me on the spot here.
Well, it was your question. What the hell?
I know, right? We should have an answer. Let me think for a second. I honestly, you know, I love the Avengers. Even like when they had like in the 80s and 90s, they had like Black Knight leading the team, kind of, and stuff like that. I love all that. I love all that stuff. I think it's underrated a lot from that period. But you know, I'm a sucker for George Perez, and those first like dozen issues or so, I can't even remember like all the storyline. I think it was a lot with Scarlet Witch and Wonder Man and stuff like that, and but just that whole like look and feel and vibe, that George Perez vibe, if you can somehow translate that onto the screen, man, I think it would blow some stuff away. And I do like Wonder Man. I think he's underrated.
Oh yeah, Wonder Man. See, and that was the other thing, that the other storyline, the Franklin Richards as a baby storyline, where the Fantastic Four and the Avengers were kind of in a crossover thing. Agatha Harkness was Franklin's.
Oh yeah.
Nanny, and the Witch and the Vision were having the issues, and that was a pretty good storyline back then. For you consider what they've done with, you know, like family type issues now. It's like back then it was about, what are we going to do about this kid with all these freaking powers, man?
Yeah,
and they were trying to dampen his powers and shit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, Reed Richards at the end of one issue, like he blasted Franklin with some ray or gun, and like everyone's like, "Oh, what's he doing?" You know. Pick up the next issue. That's a good cliffhanger there. What's he doing? He's trying to help his kid, but he doesn't look like that.
They did have some real good storylines back in the day that were actual stories that you wanted to go get that next episode or that next issue.
And actually, even though it started at number 1 again, that George Perez, they did make me want to get each issue. There's the Ultron. I mean, I don't remember the specific storylines necessarily, but just, it made me want to do that. And also, the whole Yellow Jacket thing.
Oh, yeah.
I just picked up the last part of that story the other day.
I don't know how that would fit in these days.
Hold up. I think I got it right here.
I don't think they can fit it in now because they screwed the whole thing up with the Ant-Man movies.
Yeah, but that would have been it'd been a much different type. You can't.
The last piece of the puzzle right there, man. That was the last one I was waiting for.
That's where he's kicked out, right?
Yeah.
Put in jail or something?
217, A Hero's Last Stand.
Yeah.
I just got that the other day, man.
Oh, nice. Yes. That would be a much different type of Avengers movie for sure.
Yes.
I think I would have liked to seen one of my favorite Avengers storylines is the original Kree Skull War.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I got all that storyline too.
And I've got it in hardcover. I bought the hardcover on sale at my LCS probably about 8 years ago. And ripped it open, sat back, read the thing cover to cover before I went to bed that night.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm trying to suffer through The Watchmen right now.
Watchmen?
Yeah. I'm reading the graphic novel, which I'm fine with except for all the long 2 or 3 page full text.
It's not the easiest read.
Inserts. Okay, I would be fine without all them stupid full text inserts.
Yeah.
Seems to me like you left out some pages and you left out some panels, and you should have just made it 2 damn books and give us all that stuff in panels and pages. There was too much. Well, because
it's supposed to be like a lot of it's coming out of Rorschach's diary
okay, fine. Okay, so tell us, this is what happened in my diary during this period, and give us the picture, give us the visual. You're making me work now. That's not right. Why I read comic books. That's why I read regular books, to make the images in my own head. Now you're forcing me to use your art to create my images. See, because I got to use your character art.
Well, now you know what it would be like to work as an artist for Marvel Comics.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Draw everything like John Byrne, but ink everything like Sal Buscema.
You have to create that image in your mind from their description. Okay, so the first thing you get in The Watchmen is a description of some stuff, but there's an artistic impression of it there already. So you don't get to create that image in your mind. That's what I'm saying. There's 2 different reasons I read. When I'm lazy, I read comics that give me those images. And when I'm not lazy, I read books so I can create those images on my own. Mm-hmm. I don't like the 2 things mixed together.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought my mic went off for some reason.
Just yell. We'll go, hey.
Hulk up.
You'll just blow his earphones out. I use speakers. I'm sorry. I
know. I need some speakers. I bought the pair of speakers and they're just junk.
I had speakers, and when I went to hook them up after I moved, they no longer work. So I had to fiddle around with this funky old headset to get it to work. And it's a great it's a great gaming headset. The problem is, makes my ears sweat.
Okay. Yeah. Now, see, my problem is I forget I'm wearing them, and I go, whoosh, and they get yanked off my head because I'm corded to something, and I forget all about it, and I'll get up and move, and they'll get yanked off my head because I don't even think about it.
Oh, yeah.
I get up, and I need that. I get up and jump to go get it. How many times have I jumped out of the chair just since we've been sitting here, to show
Now,
off the comic.
what do you think about what HBO Max is going to do with the Snyder Cut? We're not going into detail, and I'm not showing a trailer, Pops.
I have a feeling he's going to say something here. He's got an opinion.
Pops is an anti-trailer. Pops is an anti-trailer guy.
Yeah, I don't want to see it ahead of time. I don't like spoilers. I like to.
I hate them too, but I end up watching them.
Now this is my problem with the Snyder Cut. What's everybody gonna do if this is the same goddamn movie?
Well,
We got HBO Max for this.
Already, it's not going to be because it's going to be 4 hours long.
Okay, so we're adding some stuff, but I'm just saying, it's like I feel like you're getting sucked in to pay for the same movie twice. That's just how it feels to me. It's like, yeah, I'm just no.
But what they're doing is they're not putting it through as a whole movie. They're doing 4 1-hour increments.
Oh no!
One this week, because they don't want anybody to be able to go in when they first start to drop it and use their free 7-day trial at HBO Max to see it for free and then cancel. So they're doing it 1 week, part
It's a
1.
mini-series, y'all.
Next week, part 2. The third week, part 4. Fourth week, third week, part 3, part 4, whatever.
It's a mini-series. It's not.
But after they go through all that,
Then you can watch them all at once.
then you can just watch the whole thing. And once they do that, the second that fourth one is over, the complete Snyder Cut Blu-ray is going to already be on the store shelf.
To me, the movies is a money grab and it hurts the comic industry. That's all.
I think they could make it help the comic book industry if
They
Jimmy
could.
did something with it. I mean,
They
it's
could.
nothing but opportunity.
Look. DC, they didn't tell us a whole lot about comics.
No, it's all about video games, the
Movies.
movie,
It's
the
much
other
more
movie,
yeah.
The maybe movie. I don't know about getting into the video game, but when I found out that video game, Gotham Knights, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly, from what I hear, it doesn't have Batman.
Nope.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I have a theory on this already.
Isn't it the sidekicks? Isn't that
It's all the characters you don't want to play.
Yeah.
Except maybe
No.
Harley. I don't even know if Harley's in it.
No. But it's the characters we want to play because you get to play Tim Drake Robin as Robin. I was kind of hoping it would be Damian. That way, he'd have swords and swear a little bit. But you can play, and it's co-op play too. So you can choose like a different character.
Yeah,
You got Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, but it's the new cheesy,
Is it the lesbo one? Or is that Batwoman?
Oh, Batwoman.
Is that the lesbian one? I don't know which one.
No, that was Batwoman.
Yeah, that's Batwoman.
Oh, okay, Batwoman. How about this? Give us a Joker game.
How about that?
It'd be quick.
How so?
Joker kills Gotham. Game over.
Well, you just
No.
You gotta have lots of fun, and it'd be a strategy game too.
Hey, the Batman ain't stupid. You're gonna have to be way on top of it to be the Joker and win, right? I mean, the whole premise of the Bat is that he is super smart detective dude. You're gonna have to be a step ahead of dude. If they build the Bat right, that would be an awesome game because you'd have to beat the Bat.
Well, basically, the premise of the game is Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing, and Red Hood going out vigilante style, and they're up against the Court of Owls. So, of course, my theory is Batman didn't die. he was next to dead, and the Court of Owls put him into one of their coffins, and he's actually the talent, because you fight the Talons throughout the game, and the last boss that you fight is the toughest Talon of all, and that's actually going to be Bruce under the mask.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
But the Suicide Squad Justice League game looks way better. It looks like, you know, PC gaming opposed to console.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does this help us?
It doesn't, because I won't give them a penny of my money to buy a brand new $8,000 PlayStation console to play a video game.
Well,
it does nothing. It does nothing for the comics. The only game that DC did
help us.
The only game that DC ever put out that helped in the comics because they were so popular was the Injustice series, and that Injustice series ran for like 2.5 years or something.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I don't see where video games or the way they market them help us.
Nope, because
it'd be great if
these kids
did.
can. A lot of these kids can finish. They'll buy the game, they'll take it home, and after the weekend they finish the damn thing, and they have their parents bring them back to the store to GameStop to trade in this $95 video game for $10 in store credit so they can buy another one.
Yeah, well, GameStop. I don't even go into a GameStop. I don't waste my time there. But, like I said, I just don't see where any of it helps us as the indie community or in the comic community in general, really, because they've really watered down the big two. I mean, they've really badly watered them down.
Oh, yeah. They've beaten the living crap out of them.
I mean, they're pulling titles. They're turning stuff into digital. They're not serving the comic industry. The only thing they're helping us with is they're really bringing the indies out into the open and making us more mainstream. But I don't want to see them destroy the guys we grew up on either. I don't want to see the things that we grew up on go away. I just wish they would, hey, age them and put them to pasture and, Thor's son, whatever. I'm fine with that. Age them, but don't just eliminate them or change them to be different from who they are. Let them die. Let them age and die.
Well, you got, DC. I mean, I used to be a fan of Jim Lee, and now I'm just like, oh, you got used to that big CCO paycheck, and so now you're just AT&T's bitch.
Pretty much.
So you fire like 3/4 of your staff, including Bob Harris, who's a legend over there. You get rid of Bob. They got rid of like 3/4 of the whole editorial staff. They chopped over 25% of their line, and now they wanna push everything digital.
See, that's the part I won't go.
They are 100% against comic shops right now.
Well, I can't say that for real because RLCS is a DC sponsored comic shop, and I'm sure if she was having an issue, I mean, she'd be saying something about it. They seem to have gotten through the whole COVID thing, and this particular mess seems, not to be affecting them except maybe a couple of holes on the shelves, which I'm hoping we'll be able to fill up with some indie books anyway. So, I'm the whole thing is I'm all for comic shops. I just wish I could go to my comic shop and get all the titles that I want without having to have them all shipped to me at $10 a pop.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's a lot of good indie books, and I want them on the shelves where I can just drive down here and pick up 5, 6, 7, 8 titles, rather than pay $80 to have 8 titles delivered to me that
So
don't have nothing to do with the cost of the book. That's just what it costs to have them shipped to me. I don't have. That's $80 I want to spend on comics. You see
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Speaking of books on shelves, right? What do you think the impact is as far as diamond distributors, right? One distributor, I think that whenever that court order or whatever that made them basically monopoly, right?
Mm-hmm.
That really affected. Can you still hear me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm getting this feedback that's like weird. How I think Marvel and DC could uh, could incorporate some of what they could have done with the movies. That's one of the points that I was thinking. You only have one distributor for the actual comic books to the retailers during all these comic book movies coming out, and the way they could have got the comics out to people, like the general public, not necessarily people going to the comic book shops. If there was more distributorship and it was available in more locations, and there were spinner type racks, or not necessarily spinners, but racks at different book. I mean, some bookstores have a few comics here and there. Barnes and Noble had a small section, DC once in a while or whatever. But I mean, how do you guys think that the diamond distributors might have hurt?
Oh, Diamond ruined a whole bunch of it. But the whole thing is that they cut their own throat a few months ago.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Okay, because now there's Liberty Distributing trying to jump in. There's Indie Crowd Fund jumping out. There's a whole bunch of people that are coming out and going, we don't need you. We don't need you. We're gonna put indie books on comic shelves, and Diamond ain't gonna be able to stop us this time. They used to be in control of who the bookstores put on their shelves. You buy it. This is what you got to buy. They had that kind of a monopoly where it didn't matter if you only wanted 15 copies. We're sending you 40 copies. They did. You didn't get to be the retailer. Diamond was the one that decided what was sold on the shelves, and now we're making things different. There's other companies that are popping out here, and they're starting to get with retailers, and retailers are starting to see that the market is here. The books are here. The people want to buy these books. We just can't get them. We're paying $10 a pop to have them shipped to us because y'all don't got them in your stores. You see?
Yep.
And this is what we're trying to do, is get a platform where retailers can come and privately, without nobody knowing who they're looking at, what books they're looking at. They can go pick and choose through all the books on the platform that are retailer friendly, and they can say, oh, I want that one, I want that one, I want 10 of that one, I want 20 of that one, I want 50 of that one, and they can pick and choose, and the creator gets to decide how much of a discount for how many books he's going to give retailers. And all this is done secret behind the scenes. There's no end around. There's none of that. It's done through the website. Okay. So, retailers can stay private. They don't have people calling them up, hey, put my book on your shelf. I seen you were on the website where you put the book on your shelf. No, they stay private. We ain't going to tell you who the retailers are that registered. We'll tell you how many are registered, how many are looking at indie books. Put your books out there and let the retailers look at them, and maybe they'll buy 10, 20, 50 of your books, and then I can go down to the LCS and pick your book up for a decent price without having to have it shipped to me and pay $10 every time I want a decent book.
Now, here's a point of purchase price that irks me with crowdfunding books. I understand, you gotta take into consideration, the page count, the type of paper they're using, and a little bit of everything else. Because I mean, I know, as a fact that the art and printing is about 80% of the money that gets raised through crowdfunding. That's what it goes to.
Okay, so what if the printing and all that was also available at a discount rate through the same crowdfunding platform?
I feel like I'm in a commercial.
Well, I'm supposed to save this for Monday, but this is the whole point. It's
Yeah.
like, that's the whole point, is that we're trying to make it so that you can basically get it all done in-house.
And Eric's interested in this because he's writing his own comic book.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I've been trying to put out this my first anthology with 4 stories this year, but like I said, I've had some production problems here and there. I had a printer ready to go and everything, and then he had a problem, and a few other issues. And then next year I'm going to put out another big book, possibly more like a graphic novel. So yeah, I'm definitely interested, man, in whatever this is. I have no idea about what you're talking about yet, so this is all news to me. So keep pitching it, brother.
Well, it's launching on Monday. It's
All
called indiecrowdfund.com. You can go look at the website. You can't sign up as a creator yet, or I think you can sign up, but you can't set up your campaign yet. But you can go look at everything. You can look at everything that's available fulfillment wise. And I'm going to let you know there's some stuff that hasn't been added yet that just make it that much better. But if you go look at the website, you're going to see, I think there's already 23 retailers that have registered. It hasn't launched yet, and retailers are looking at it. They've talked to maybe 80 retailers so far and had 3 say no. Now, out of those 77 that said yes, or that didn't say anything, 23 of them have committed and registered. So, and the whole thing is that they used to own a comic store. They know a whole bunch of comic store retailers. They're trying to get this thing. They're trying to get as many retailers involved in this as possible. Give it a year, you're going to see 700, 800, 900 retailers buying books. This is strictly dedicated to comics. No lawn chairs, none of that shit. Just comics.
Is this so this is retailers, and then can you use it for crowdfunding?
You can run your own crowdfund just the way you want. You don't have to have a retailer option at all. It's a crowdfunding site for.
Oh, it's a crowdfunding site. Okay, gotcha.
But what we're trying to do is bring retailers to look at your indie books.
Yeah, I definitely had that. As a not a retailer, but as someone who also sells on Facebook Live comics. I was looking. A lot of crowdfunds do have that thing where it's like a retailer pack and stuff.
Okay,
so that would be a better option.
This is the difference. The difference is you can go down the line and you can say, if you buy 10 of my books, I'll give you a 20% discount. If you buy 25 of my books, I'll give you a 25% discount. If you buy 40 of my books, I'll bring you down to 40% discount. And you see what I'm saying? You get to set that, and that's all the retailer sees is how many and the price you're willing to give. And we're not talking about perks and tchotchkes and all the goodies and all that. We're talking about putting books on the shelf. Retailers ain't going to care about the goodies, the tier, the different tiers crap. They're going to want maybe some of this cover, maybe some of that cover, and you'll be able to put a different price on the different covers that are more rare or whatever. You see what I'm saying? You'll be in control as the one who sets up the account, whether you want retailers, whether you don't, what kind of discount you're going to give them. All of that is totally in the creator's control. Retailer's just going to come by, look at that book and go, oh shit, that looks pretty cool. I'm going to check that one out. Oh, dude's giving me a pretty good discount. You see what I'm saying? That's how you're going to get their attention, is by putting it on their shelf at a price they can make a buck off it and sell it.
Gotcha.
I mean, cool. And when you look at all the in-house perks, the printing, everything that they're offering as well. Gemini mailers, all this stuff cheaper than you can get it anywhere else. You can't call Gemini and get mailers cheaper than you'll be able to get them through this site.
They'll do all your fulfillment for you.
Oh, they do the fulfillment too.
Are you starting to feel it, brother? You can get it printed. You can get it
I
printed.
ship. Like I said, I do live sales, and shipping day is a biatch.
Yeah. You see, we're trying to make this as creator friendly as possible. Trying to put as much of your money in your pocket as it should be, as opposed to getting shipped all over the freaking country while you're trying to get your book printed. You know, it's like we're trying to put it all in one place and make it as easy on you as possible to get your books on store shelves, not just sending it to, look, do you want to ship 50 books to 50 dudes? Or do you want to ship 25 books there and 25 books there and have them 50 dudes be able to get those books?
Both.
Without all that
right?
shipping crap involved.
Yeah.
Without all that shipping crap involved. Put them on the store shelves, man.
Not fun, yeah.
Put them on the store shelves. That's how we bring indie totally mainstream, is to put our books where the comic fans that walk into those stores see your books on the shelf next to Superman. Holy shit. Mojo right there next to Batman. That's what I'm talking about. Put your books on the store shelves, man. You know, if we can do that, then we don't need the big two. You know, they're going to need us. They're going to need the fans again if they want to produce books anymore, or they're just going to fade away and the indies are going to be what comics is. I don't want to see that because I love my old school heroes, man. You know,
We just got to get back to the old school ways with Marvel and DC and stuff.
we kind of got to force them to go back to the old school ways by not buying their crap.
Yeah. I mean, when they're trying to turn Wolverine Kumasi Kumasa, man, I mean, come on, dude.
That's what I mean. It's like, who buys them books? All them Wolverine fans.
Oh heck no, dude.
Are not going to buy them books. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. You might gain a couple fans, but not near what you're going to lose.
Can you imagine if all the first, like, they did that, and then the first appearance, the Hulk 181 just dipped down in price big time? Can you imagine that?
I never thought
That'd be
about
hilarious.
That really easily could happen.
I mean, I just thought of it. I was just like, that'd be hilarious, and I mean, I don't know. It could be funny.
No, I heard he owns a bar in New Orleans.
Oh, good. Make me a whiskey sour, would you?
Yeah, that's the premise. The Pops Van Zandt character. The Pops Van Zandt character owns the black market store where you get all the, you know, the goodies for fighting against bad things, you know, and the bar. You know, Pop's Bar. So, you know, I'm not allowed. I don't let them tell me very much of the story. I get bits and pieces, so that's all I can ever convey, because I want to read the book the same time you guys read the book. You know, I'm a fan first. And from the day he told me he was writing me into this comic, I was like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And he has complete creative control. And if you like me, you should buy this book. And if you don't like me, you should buy this book, because you probably see me get my ass whooped all the time.
Hey, that's worth the price of it.
Probably every issue, I'm going to get my, you know, Raj is going to have as much fun as he can. I'm senile. I'm nothing more than a roadie. Deep Purple, though, Raj? Really?
Hey, I like Deep Purple.
What's up, Raj? What are you doing, man? You should be out here talking about your book, bro. Raj is the creator of Mojo Rising. He's the one that turned me into a comic book character. And good friend, real good friend, lives down there in Texas.
Well, if you can get the good old boy to come on, you can give him the same link I gave you, and he can jump up in here for a few.
He's probably at work. Looking at the time, he might be at work still.
But
we are up to 117 backers on Mojo, and we're
a book that Pops has been pushing since last December.
Yeah, in my little group.
What's the monetary? What are you up to monetarily?
4,200.
Nice.
And it's I mean, this is the last week. I'm expecting we'll get another little push here at the end.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to get up over 5. That would be really good for Raj and for the team. You know, for a first book, that would be real good for the team. Like I said, we pushed it for a long time, and then we hit that COVID delay where we didn't know what we were going to do. We got brought in a new colorist. We added pages. Instead of just sitting on what we had, they made it way better. They made the product better. You're gonna like it. There's some great covers. There's Jim O'Reilly cover, the Gators. There's a Manny Soto cover. There's a Greg Harms watercolor cover. There's some really good art in this book. And Edwin Artex Padillo does colors, and it's just his color just pops. It brings everything to life, So that's kind of what I was focused on. And then, like I said, we hit that COVID thing, and we made it better, and we got here to August, and it was like time to launch.
Well, here's my COVID indie story.
You have a COVID indie story?
Of course I do. What kind of podcasting host would I be without a COVID indie story? So I started doing this podcast. This, by the way, is episode 30. I only started doing this about 2 months ago. And the first few people I interviewed, I really dug what they were doing. So I jumped, on either Indiegogo or Kickstarter, and I pledged. Well, my LCS sends me $100 box every month of stuff. And the box got here. And then a reminder to pay the box got here. And then I went to go pay the box. I didn't have any money on my fucking credit card. Because Kickstarter came out and now I haven't gotten anything from the fulfillments yet, but I know they've gone through. I backed Connor G, this young kid from Alaska that's doing kind of like a black and white 90s indie, because that's what he dug growing up. That and Venom, but no accounting for taste. And it reminded me a lot of Lone Wolf and Cub, and I was like, this is great. And then I saw the raw artwork from his artist, and I'm like, I go, this dude's phenomenal. And he goes, well, if you want, you don't have to just get the PDF. If you like physical, I go, everybody likes physical. Come on.
Yes.
That's why you have a sling on one arm, Pop.
I wish that's why I had a sling on one arm.
Oh.
That must have been a whole lot of Rosie.
Yeah, about 140 pounds of husky is what it was.
Oh. Look, you're not supposed to play Red Rocket with the dog. Come on.
Dude. You just break up a dog fight. That's all.
But he had one tier up from the regular book was a sketch edition where you get the entire book in the front, and then you get original art including concept art and, just the pencils. Like in the back, ooh, and I look through the samples they had, and I go, well, that's pretty cool. I'll get that one. And then I scrolled down a little bit more and goes, you can do the catch up where you can get the first issue and this new issue, both sketch editions for. I go, yeah, okay. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. And then the following day I interviewed Rylan Grant, the creator behind Banjax and a few other things, and his new Kickstarter that's being fulfilled right now, Jump, and there were like 3 or 4 other ones that I jumped on. And then I was like, oh, I'd really like to back your project, but I ain't getting no money.
Yeah, well, that's the story of my backing career right there. It's like, man, I have to budget, and there's no way I can get them all. And I tell everybody that all the time. There's so many great books out there that I can't afford to back, and part of that's because I can't afford $10 shipping on every damn one of them. That's why I'm so behind that other thing. But when you said something about indie stories, I told you Raj's indie story. My indie story is totally different because CromCon and everything that's happened to me in the last 6 months is directly related to COVID. All of it, everything, all of it. Being, the reason I started doing CromCon was because of COVID. That all the cons were shutting down. And what are my friends going to do? How they gonna make any money? I'm gonna do an online con. I jumped in both feet, had no freaking idea what I was doing, had never organized anything like that in my life, had never done no StreamYard, nothing. I came out here stone cold, bold, doing with no knowledge, just as a fan, a collector. I didn't know crap about the industry. I didn't know hardly anybody, any of the creators. They were just people in my little group of about 400 or 500 people at the time, and
1,500 now.
Yeah, 1,500 now, and it's like we don't pad the numbers. They're all comic people. Every one of them is comic people. But it changed my whole life. I ain't gonna lie. I spend all day in this chair promoting people's books and stuff all day. Will knows I'm out here all day popping links and doing stuff, and I do a weekly show now, and I have the CromCon the first weekend of every month. And, it's like, all that's because of COVID. Otherwise, I'd just be Jack Collector still. There's, everything that's happened to me in the last 6 months is because of COVID-19.
How does your CromCon work online?
It's a first come, first served 30 to 90 minute slot, whatever you want to do in that time. I make it, I like, let's say
people promote their book or their
or sell. Okay, we have vendors, we have cosplayers, we have all kinds of different people that come out. It's like I'll put it up like on the 10th, and I'll say first come, first serve, get your time slot, and I'll spend that whole day setting up the event post and putting people in time slots, filling it all in. And this time it took like 6 hours, and it was full, 2 days, 40 people probably, maybe more. You can see the event post. I think it's in the announcements in the group in Comic Related Madness.
I didn't know you had I didn't know these things had retailers in them. So.
Oh well, I mean everything. Whoever wants, it's first come, first serve. We haven't had very many people that just come out trying to sell comics. It's more like little infomercials about somebody's crowdfunder or, although we have had David Basuda come out for Underground Grading. He came out and did a little show, talked about what they do over there, getting signatures and graded signatures and all that kind of stuff. And Moto Glass, he does glass etchings. He came out and showed off all the kind of stuff that he does. It's whatever you want. It's comic related. When I first started, it was like, it's your time. You do whatever you want. If you want to send me like canned questions and want me to do a Q&A with you, we can do that. If you want me to get out the way and you just show us your stuff, you can do that. Some people don't have that outgoing personality and they want somebody out there with them. Some people are totally fine out there by themselves, don't need me at all. And then there's now it's like grown into the point where we have people that do panels, like the Naughty Fairies crew, the ClickCon crew, they're all going to be out at CromCon
Cool.
talking about their con the next weekend. It's come out and promote whatever you want. I'm going to be on Indie Event tomorrow promoting CromCon next weekend, and then people are going to be on CromCon promoting the con the next weekend. We're all trying to band together and help everybody promote everything. The people at Indiebolt, the people at Comics Cast, the people at ClickCon, we're all trying to work together to promote everybody. Indie is the road now. We all got to work together,
So the $1 million question: do you have a Conan 1?
No.
No, I do not. Crom is not that Crom.
Why do you want to sell me one?
Yeah, I'll sell you guys one. I thought Crom was just from
No, see, Comic Related Madness is the name of the Facebook group. Okay. So CRM, we needed something to name our troll. That little green troll that's our mascot in the group. We needed a name for him.
Gotcha,
so we did a poll. We did a poll in the group, and we let the group name him, and they chose Crom.
Yeah, you got me too. Every time he said Crom about something, I would put up some kind of a Schwarzenegger Conan meme.
But he's actually that little green troll in the comic related, in all the Comic Related Madness graphics.
Okay.
That little green troll, that's Crom.
I'll check it out some more. Yeah, definitely.
You got to give him the link to the madness, Will.
I think he's in there.
Yeah, I think a part of it is just there's so many comic things that it's just like all kind of
blending together.
The madness is the only real one, though, bro. It's the best. It's the best.
Here we go.
Facebook. You got to know it's the best kept secret on Facebook.
Of course, no doubt.
I thought me not wearing any pants was.
Do we have fun in the madness?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's all it's about, man. That was the one thing I learned from Polito in that first CromCon. He was like, man, we're trying to have fun. Don't forget, we're trying to have fun. He goes, every time I walk in that building, everybody in that building, we're trying to have fun. Have fun. That's all I'm trying to do, man. That is all I'm trying to do with my group, with the cons, with the Monday Madness, with the shows. Trying to have a good time.
And now, of course, we have the link for the Mojo Rising Kickstarter in the chat.
Thank you. That is Raj Mahan, Greg Harms, Manny Soto, Edwin Artex Padillo, Keith Braun on letters. And it's, 32 pages. It's closer to what a comic book's supposed to be. I don't like them 18, 24 page comics that you're still paying a premium for. I'd appreciate it if they give us a full size comic or more. Nothing wrong with more.
Or more. God almighty. Let me tell you, I got Monday night, I have David Paposan, who had Spencer and Locke and Go to the Chapel for Action Lab Studios, which are both Ringo nominated books this year. And he's got a new book called The Oz with a period after both letters.
I have dropped that link in the group. Yes, I know that book.
And so he's gonna be on with me Monday night and Tuesday night.
You might want to go on later on Monday then.
Uh-oh, here we go.
We're going sworn on Monday at 8 p.m., bro. I got the coffin people coming out.
That's all right. We're not going on till 9. You can always watch me in the rerun. I'm sure you will.
Well, no, I don't want to miss your show, and I don't want you to miss mine because they're both going to be good shows. You know,
We got to find a way to. We got to find a way to link the StreamYards with other people's StreamYards.
Dude, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But then all the screens would be so damn small.
You can do up to 10 people, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then if you link 2 10s together, you'd have people be trying to look at 20 screes.
But yeah, I've got him. And then Tuesday night, I've got. Oh dear Lord, what's his name? I forgot. Let me see. It's. Oh, I can't see.
Yeah, that reminds me. I got to write down. I got to write them down. I got an appearance Wednesday.
Oh, Guy Dorian Sr. He's been in the industry for over 25 years. Artist, editor. He's worked for every major publisher around, and he is now with the. He's now with John Carpenter's comic book company, and they just released the. I guess it was like 5 issues, but they put it out as volume 1 as a trade. So I'm trying to digest this entire book, and it was good because I got through the first 4 chapters before I came on to do this with you guys. But it's 170 pages.
Wow.
I'm up to 120 right now. But Louise Simonson was the writer on the book, and he was the artist. Bill Sienkiewicz is the cover artist, and they had 2 finishers. Scott Hanna was one, and I remember that because he was just on my show the other week. And the other surprise was, just for shits and giggles, when I was on Twitter and Jeff Lemire was posting about something, I told him, yeah, I'd love to have you on the Creators Outlet podcast sometime. And he got back to us and he was like, yeah, how's October? I'm like, holy fuck. That's great. Are we going to be able to talk about the final issue of Gideon Falls when you come on? Because
So yeah, I was talking to the ambassador to the Sworn Nation when we first started the show, and there's definitely going to be a Coffin exclusive on Monday night during Monday Madness at 8 p.m. So I don't know if you're a Lady Death fan, you might want to watch. I did want to say there's so much going on up here in the very near future. Wednesday I'm going to be on Drew S's show for my birthday party or something. What I wanted to do is I wanted to go out there and I wanted to ask people for my birthday, back people's books, and I'm going to put talk about different people's books, and if you want to do something for me on my birthday, I want you to back one of them books. That's what I'm doing on Wednesday night.
okay, but I'll have to borrow some money from you.
I wish I could back them all, man. You know that, all of them. But at some point, things are gonna work in all of our favors, man, and we're all gonna be in better place than we are right now. That's what I hope for everybody in the indie community, is to just be in a little better place than we are right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to a better place right now.
Oh, that stuff was good. So let me go have some more of that good stuff. what would you like to see happen, like film or TV wise, with any of the franchises to help comic sales?
Hmm.
Gosh.
Hmm. Are you talking big two or anywhere?
Anywhere.
Well, damn. I want to see Cyberfrog. I want to see an animated Cyberfrog.
Oh, great! I can see the picket. I can see the picket lines outside already.
It's got nothing to do with any of the lines drawn. It's something that I think would work in anime.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty deep story. I think it would work in animation.
Well, he's got the action figure line now too, so
I think that would help the indies.
Mhm.
It would make some people mad, but I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but making people mad usually sells books.
yeah, it does because
Some people don't like
his
to be told.
Ethan's Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet 2 is over 1.1 million right now.
Well, and that's not the only reason I bring it up. Is you remember when subreddit went about trying to ban Florida Man, and boom, Florida Man just exploded. It was at 7,000 then. It went over 30.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell people what we can buy.
Yeah,
We're just going to buy it out of spite. Don't tell us what we can buy. We're old. We don't
like
care.
yeah.
We're
See,
old, and we don't care about your agenda. Don't tell us what we can buy. I mean, and that's on any side. Don't tell us what we can buy.
Mm-hmm.
We're fans. We buy what we want, what appeals to us, and they forget about the fan, and that's the problem. They all do. The movies, the creators, everybody. Don't shoot yourself in the foot, mainly, because you might have fans on both ends if you keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, you gotta cater to the fans, but in the same aspect, don't
respect them as fans. Don't talk down to them, and don't tell them what they can do or what they should do.
Yeah, and don't do the fan pandering thing, because look how good that worked out for the last Star Wars movie.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work for anybody. If that community was 50% of the population, I could see why you would sell to them, but they're not. That's not a big enough fan base to base a huge corporation under. You can't change.
Yeah, and most of the people, and you know who I'm talking about, that make the big deal over this or that, or they don't usually buy your product.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's too small of an audience to try to sell to. It's just a loud voice.
Yeah, they have nothing better to do. They want to make a bunch of noise, and they want to be noticed, and they're not going to buy.
And there's some people on the other end of that extreme that are doing the same thing.
Yeah,
they're so concerned about them that they're forgetting to cater to me, the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, as a creator, I don't care what your politics are. Give me a good book. Isn't that what they did? The whole thing is we want good books.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, it's not.
That's what I want. I want good books. I want good stories.
It's not a CG thing. It's a fan thing. We want good books. It doesn't matter where you lie on the political spectrum. Write good books. Period.
Yeah. This isn't politics. This is comic books.
It's comic books.
It seems like the best books now are some of these indie books. I mean,
they are.
And it's what's starting to become a little interesting is I think some of the professionals now are starting to look at that crowdfunding source, and I wonder if at some point some of these successful indie people might get a crack eventually.
Well, they already are. They already are.
at the big
There's
two.
a few of them. You got Miller, Mike S. Miller's in there. Oh well, I mean, just not mentioning the two big guys that we've been talking about all night, but there's quite a few that are dipping their toes in. Mark McKenna, with Banana Tales. Okay, he's old school Marvel. You know, he's dipping his. They're all dipping. They just, how good are they at marketing themselves? They've always had the big two to market what they do. They, you know, the ones that are good at marketing themselves are going to get their books bought. And that's the bottom line with any kind of marketing. You know that. It's how good they are at getting
you get the crowdfunding thing, and you get the people with the big names, like say Graham Nolan, with his book he's doing right now, The Canoe. And he went and he ran his Kickstarter, and then he ran his Indiegogo. You know, because you know he's got a name behind him,
and he marketed himself. This is what I'm saying. Not all of them are very good at marketing themselves.
He marketed the crap out of himself because he knows. You know,
this is what I'm saying. Though most of these big guys have always had a marketing department that did all that for them. All they had to do was draw or write.
Yep.
They didn't have to sell the product.
Well,
now
case in point,
their product.
As of recent, you had Scott Snyder and Tony Daniels jump into the crowdfunding.
There's going to be a lot more. I know names I can't say yet that are jumping into indie crowdfunding. Oh, I'm just saying. It's like I already know some names that are jumping in that you might not have known are about to do that, because it's the future of it, man. It's totally the future of it. Now, if them other two were just concerned with comics and comic creators, they'd have already put you all in real connection with retailers. But they don't care about you either, because comics ain't the big money in Kickstarter, and comics ain't the big money in Indiegogo. You're just part of the platform.
I think. When do you think? When do you think the Big Two is going to start outsourcing it? Outsourcing the production. When do you think the Big Two will start outsourcing the production of their books? I mean, it seems like it's almost inevitable at some point.
If they do that, they're going to get buried.
Well, I mean,
as soon as the creators are don't need them and are doing it themselves, they're not going to need them. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like right now they have all them people under contract and all them titles under contract. And if they let creatives have control of their stuff, they won't need DC or Marvel anymore. They'll be able to go to one of these crowdfunding options, one of these crowdfunding platforms, and they won't need DC.
Well, DC's never going to let go of Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman, just like, Marvel's not going to let go of, Hulk or Spider-Man. And no matter what, DC's always going to sell Batman books, and Marvel's always going to be able to sell, Spider-Man books.
The problem is are they going to? They'll always be able to.
Yeah, of course they want to keep the IP. But like, I think there was some rumors that like a company like Dynamite might they might, like DC might say, okay, Dynamite, you take these titles and just produce them for us.
Well, they do that with IDW already.
Yeah.
Oh, they do it with IDW?
All the their all ages stuff, like the remember back in the day they used to do like the little digests. Remember the comic book digests from when we were kids?
Yeah.
Well, they do like the kids version of like
Superhero Squad, a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, like all the kiddie stuff.
Turtles, isn't Turtles IDW also? Then they're coming from the other way. It's there's a whole lot of that cross stuff that goes on, but that's all still based on Dynamite distribution. Well, now two different other distribution companies that nobody's real sure about. It's all so shaky that now's the time for the indies.
Oh, now's time for a distributor. Yeah, Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I know that Barry and Grant over there at Liberty, geez, what they?
Libbity bibbity.
It's Liberty distributing. Distributing. They already have a small. I don't know. They had a group of retailers they were already in touch with, and they're trying to put indies on retailer shelves, the same as I mean, that's what the whole thing is. That's the only way you guys are ever going to make this into a job where you're putting out like a monthly or a every other month book is to work. And in order to do that, you have to have a crowdfunding platform that allows you to do that, to work. Now if you want to work and put out a monthly, everything is there. All everything you need is there for printing and fulfillment. Work, write and draw, and put out a monthly if you want. It's like this is opening up to you now. It's not going to be Kickstarter where you
you would make the original book and you put it through them, and they do all the work for you.
That's where you get down to where you're just working on your book. You're not working on fulfillment. You're not working on marketing or none of the crap. You got people doing all that for you, and you're working on your book. And then you can put out a whole lot more books because all you're having to do is work on your book.
Well, I mean, that's a brilliant idea, especially if like the fulfillment and the marketing too.
Well, marketing is all me, dude. I'm the face.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm the face, and I'm going to be trying to make sure that everybody's book on this platform is going to be seen out there in the internet fucking indie world. That's me. I'm doing that.
You're the marketer. Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, it's not like I'm just not like I'm saying, yo, pay me to do this. It's like I'm doing this because I want this to succeed. Period.
Awesome.
So if your book is on that, it's like you can pretty much be guaranteed that in the madness and anywhere the madness reaches, people gonna know about your book is on that site. It's not like Kickstarter where you got to go look for everything. I'm gonna make sure everybody knows. This guy just put this book up today. And if that list gets to 50 books a day, I'm gonna be working my ass off. No, I don't expect to get to a point where there's 50 books being launched a day, but it'd be cool if we got to the point where there are a couple books a day launched that I could talk about, and a couple books a day that are ending that I get to talk about, and that'll keep me busy. And during the lulls, I'll talk about everything. I'm taking that on myself.
Yeah, just like tonight. We started with the subject of, has Hollywood destroyed the comic book industry? And it turned into an infomercial for IndieCrowdfund.com.
We're trying to talk about how to fix it too, right?
Yeah.
And one leads into the other. And
so that was the last question, was how can anything in movies, TV, Saturday morning cartoons, what are those? Never mind. Translate to pushing comic book sales.
I think it might be a question of the reverse, actually. Like, how can the independent comic scene
break into that?
Yeah.
And the movie.
Yeah. Exactly. I think
that's what we need to do. We need to take them popular titles like Lady Death and Cyber Frog and invade their industry. Not the other way.
I mean, that takes a whole cultural shift, kind of.
Their industry instead of letting them influence ours. Brian, are you listening?
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's the market for it. I mean, there is definitely the market for it. I mean, look what these crowdfunds do. I mean, there's.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
I mean, the one I just mentioned, the one with Snyder and Daniels, the first day, 100K in 24 hours, and that's not even a comic book.
Mm-hmm.
it's a story, and Tony's going to be doing images inside, like every chapter of the book that you come to, there'll be like another image, and it's gonna, it's got a full color thing on there, but it's, this is a full blown out story.
That's what I mean. We need to take over we need to invade their industry and influence what they're doing, and not let them influence what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, most of the popular pop culture stuff is straight from comics now. I mean, I don't think you can name any.
It's not even pop culture. It's everything.
Yeah.
Every top movie, TV show, cartoon, video game, board game.
That's what creates the buzz too.
Yeah.
The buzz is already there. It's like, oh shit, this was a comic book, and we're gonna pop it into this and make it even bigger. The buzz is already there. A new show, a new concept. There's not much buzz unless you got some hot actor or actress or something. And how many hot actors and actresses are there anymore? I mean,
that aren't already in Marvel or DC.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, half of them are in both. Come on, that's the other thing that I can't stand. No, pick a side, man. I do not want to see Daredevil Lantern anymore, or whatever. I mean, it's like I don't like when they do
Deadpool Lantern.
Green Pool.
Bat Devil. That's the one. Bat Devil.
I'm just glad what's his name came back to be J. Jonah Jameson.
But yeah, I mean that too. It's just another thing that makes it hard to watch. When you see somebody that did a character in one, and then you see them doing a character in the other, and now it's like, oh, you're going to go back to DC and do that again now? It's like, are you just going to keep dancing back and forth? It's like you're kind of watering down our characters. One thing I like about the whole X-Men thing is that Hugh was Wolverine the whole time. Okay? Yep. They're not going to be able to sell us another Wolverine unless he's even more Wolverine and sticks there for a long time, because everybody loved Hugh.
Yeah,
he played the part right. He was good.
Jackman not once broke down while he was Wolverine and started singing, a song from Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to, and what they do next with Wolverine is going to live, or the X-Men franchise is going to live or die on it. They put him in a movie. They put a new Wolverine in the movie, and he doesn't sell as Wolverine, or they change the essence of the character, it's going to kill the franchise.
Is it Keanu Reeves who is doing a comic book? I think I saw something like that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, he's got one.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, because he hasn't picked the side yet. He's just John Wick and whatever, but that could be an independent thing.
Today, yeah.
You can't make somebody like that pick a side. He'll just laugh at you. He's always been about just being a better person.
Yeah, but if he does that independent comic book and then turns that into something,
all he has to do is just not pick a side, and he gets fans on both ends of the spectrum. They love him already. He doesn't have to go out there and shoot himself in the foot and take half his losses. He just keep his mouth shut and be him. He's an enigma. Nobody knows what he's thinking, what he's about. He's kept it that way for years on purpose, so that everybody is a fan. He doesn't go out there and alienate fans. This is what I'm trying to get through. To quit alienating your fans. I can do that. I'm just a comic. I'm just a fan. I can go out there and be me. I'm a fan. I don't have to withhold my opinion, although I do in the group, because that's the rule of the group. But I don't have to withhold my opinion. Okay? Now, those people that are trying to sell you something, they can alienate possible consumers by what they say. They shouldn't do that. That's all. I mean, don't go out there and shoot yourself in the foot. It's great to have principles. keep them to yourself. It helps the bottom line if you're actually trying to make money.
I don't talk to any of my principals. I think I still owe detention.
Yeah, I only talked to one of them. Honor. She was a really nice lady. Still is. All right. Anyway, yeah, we need to influence them and quit letting them influence us. I think that's the best thing that I've gotten out of this whole podcast right here is that when indie comics start going more mainstream, joining the animation ranks, maybe a Netflix, let's not say Netflix, maybe a Hulu show. I don't know.
Well,
Netflix is one of them things that's gone way too political too. It's crazy.
Hulu is Disney.
It's all, man, how are you going to find a platform really that isn't something fucked up about it? There ain't one.
Pluto TV.
Yeah, they keep trying to make one, but
There's a couple in the works right now, but we'll see.
yeah,
Hey, you never know. Maybe
none of that stuff ever gets anywhere until there's a whole nationwide culture change, kind of, or shift or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping we get back to just acting right.
Yeah, exactly.
Just acting right. Be responsible for yourself. Act right. It don't take a lot.
Yeah,
people can't enjoy what they want to enjoy anymore without friggin' thinking about who's going to think what.
Well, see, that's the thing. I personally don't like to. I catch myself if I'm starting to sound like I'm being offended for somebody else, because that ain't my freaking business. Okay, that's where the problem is really come in, where we all start being offended for somebody else. Don't be offended for other people. If they're offended, let them be offended. But when you come out and you start laying judgment on them and being offended when it's not even you that the stuff was directed at, and you're out there voicing offense for somebody else, they might not be offended. You might be just talking out your ass. I have this friend that was talking about Latino women, and I have an ex-girlfriend that's a Latino woman that lives in Phoenix, and he knows her, and he was trying to be offended for her, and she came flat out and told you don't speak for me. That's the whole thing. We cannot be offended for other people. We don't speak for other people. From your own heart, you know what's right. Act right. That's all you got to do.
Oh yeah.
That's all you got to do. And even if your mom didn't teach you to act right, you know what acting right is. It's not that freaking hard, man. And
if you don't know, come see one of us and we'll slap it into you.
Or even if you're receptive, we'll talk it into you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Keyword being receptive.
Well, yeah, because how many people listen? How many people listen to anything anymore? It's like everybody has their opinion, and I've been guilty of that. But I also try not to argue about things I don't know about or have some form of life experience about. I've been in a lot of arguments about COVID. I've been in a COVID positive house for 3 months. I have life experience with COVID. You're not going to tell me about COVID because what you heard on TV. I lived with it. My family lived with it. And our life experience has more weight than the media sensationalism or any of the other crap that's going on. I live in Michigan where, come on. A lot of people died here, it still was.
No, I know two people that supposedly died of COVID that lived in Michigan.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not saying it ain't real. I'm saying I've lived in a household of it, and there is a different way to look at it than what the media is telling you, because life experience and people who've actually experienced it will have a different story. Okay, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, it's different places are dealing with different levels of it. You live in Wyoming, you probably don't even know it exists, man. Seriously, there's nobody there hardly. There's nobody anywhere they want to go test a whole bunch of people. There's going to be a whole bunch of cases. It was running around rampant here for 4 months before anybody even shut the travel lanes off. It was here for a long time before anybody said mask, before anybody said, hey, don't let them travel here no more. It was here for months already. A lot of people were exposed to it before anybody said the word mask. Okay. I know, because 3 months ago we were exposed to it. 3 months ago.
Yeah, I think I had it at the end of the year.
That's what I'm saying. It's like people had it. People were exposed to it a long time ago, and it ran rampant through. And that's why the case loads are so high, or the case numbers are so high, because a lot of people were exposed to it. The hospitalization numbers and death numbers, they're getting lower all the time. The percentages drop every day. How many people are hospitalized and how many people have died? It gets lower every day. Because,
gosh, you just started depressing me. When are we going to see the first COVID stories in the comic books?
Oh,
gosh,
there already is one.
Oh gosh. Make comics fun again.
And see, that's the whole thing. It's like, as depressing as what I just talked about was living in a COVID positive house. Look at everything that I've been doing for the last 6 months. It's not the end of the freaking world. You power through it. 2020 was the shittiest year on record that we can think of. And you know what my first thoughts were way back in the beginning? Power through it. Adapt and overcome. Everybody's going to have to adapt. I was telling my son that way back before they closed the schools. Way back before they closed the schools. A month before, I told him, you better get ready. They're going to close schools. I fucking saw everything coming, man. And then it came into my house. And we survived it, people. 7 of us. Age range 4 to 57. And we all survived it. And nobody went to the hospital. And nobody died. I'm not saying it don't happen. I'm saying it didn't happen to 7 of us in this house. And that's my life experience with it. That's the only thing I can give to people. I can't tell you the stats or argue the science. I can tell you what happened here at home with my life experience. And you can't tell me that's not how it went down, because I was here. It's like, you can't scare me into being afraid to go out.
But what you can tell everybody the stats is of indiecrowdfund.com.
Okay, let's see.
Wait, there's more.
How many retailers do we have now? I don't even have it pulled up. See, I'm trying not to. I'm really trying not to. How many retailers? Come on, you're watching.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I just have to ask, brother. How many Jake the Snakes do you get?
How many what?
Jake the Snakes comparisons do you get?
I've never heard that one.
Really?
Have you not looked in a mirror?
No, I don't. I've never heard that one.
Oh my gosh!
I get Lemmy.
I just expect to see Damien crawl over your shoulder or something, man.
No, I used to have a snake a long time ago.
Oh man!
I can kind of see it now, but I get Lemmy all the time. Man, I get Lemmy. I get Alice Cooper. I get all the old rockers.
Yeah, Lemmy too a little.
That's what I get thrown at me all the time.
Yeah, he reminds me of Lemmy every time his logo comes up.
Yeah. I'm familiar with the logo now. I know that.
Yeah, that's the Pops Approves.
Pops Approves by Crom. Is it by Crom or Hail Crom or what?
Hail Crom. Yes,
Hail Crom. I'm sorry. I always think Conan. So
the Hail thing came from Mike and Mindy Wheeler. We're talking about Hail Negan.
Oh yeah.
And so we changed it to Hail Crom. Because, Negan is somebody else's creative property. And
yeah, I know.
Crom is ours. We can do that with him.
I got to give a big shout out because now my podcasts are sponsored by Spin Whiz Comics.
I like that.
Spin Whiz.
Oh, very good.
Spin Whiz.
Yeah.
Spin Whiz Comics is a comic and webcomic discovery platform for comic book readers, hosting mainly independent comics, currently hosting 86 indie content creators / publishers with a library of over 400 titles and growing.
Nice.
Some notable publishers right now are Source Point Press, Tidal Wave, Marcosia, A Wave Blue World, and Arcana. Majority of the content is free to read, although you can purchase PDFs, digital comics, of the actual issues. And when you do that, 70% of the profit all goes to the creators. And they will be having a print on demand feature coming soon. So if you like the book and you want the physical copy of it, you can get it. It's a free to download app on both iOS and Android. You don't need a subscription, but if you like, there is a $1 a month subscription that will remove all the ads and give you a bunch of bonuses. And there's a built-in royalty program. Readers get one entry for every page they read, as long as they're signed into their app, for monthly, quarterly, and yearly giveaways. SpinWizComics.com.
I'm really having a time with Google right now. They're really trying to make me angry.
Imagine that.
On purpose.
It's like I don't think they understand what I'm asking for right here, right now.
I think DuckDuckGo's going to sponsor us next.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. That's what I was looking for.
Google doesn't know what I want. I'm like, Jack and Coke?
You're just not paying attention, man. I just wanted to shoot this over there for Eric to see in the private chat over there, Eric.
Oh, okay.
If you didn't get a chance to look at it, there you can pull it up and you can see everything.
Thanks, brother.
Everything that they have to offer, and
Yeah, I keep seeing it. I haven't had the time to check it out, but now I see it. Yeah.
It definitely is worth checking out. I mean, it's like I'm not a creator.
How many titles do you have so far? And when did you start this?
This launches on Monday, and I have.
Oh, it just launches Monday.
It launches on Monday. They have 25 retailers signed up.
Now this is what's confusing me. You keep saying they have.
It is. I'm the face, bro.
Oh, you're just kind of like the promoter.
It's Mike and Mindy Wheeler.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones that designed the website. They're,
Gotcha.
It was like an idea that I came up with and they ran with.
Oh, John has something on there, huh?
There's a lot of people that have already said they're going to. They're just waiting for Monday so they can set up an account or set up their campaigns.
I gotcha. I see Flying Sparks on there. That's why.
Larry Niobe, he's going to be setting his up there. I'm pretty sure that Mojo will be running one there. I've heard a couple of names that I can't say yet that I know are going to be setting up there, and I'm excited for where it's going to go. I'm totally willing to put a year into working this and marketing this, and I'm sure within a year there's going to be a whole lot of happy people.
Cool, man.
It's going to be a whole new face for crowdfunding.
Yeah, it's just dedicated to you guys. The whole thing is about comics and comic creators.
So I see on top you have previews by Comics Cast. Is that kind of like if you turn pages?
Comics Cast is the network that we run CromCon on. It's Joe Tolliver's base or YouTube network. He's like more into the multimedia type stuff, and we run CromCon and Monday Madness off his platform, and he's going to be doing a lot of the ad and preview stuff, and of course I work with them, so again that's partially going to be me over there too. Anything that has to do with getting this out and getting it seen, I'm hoping I'm part of. That's you lost us.
Uh-oh.
We can't hear you either. Yep, gone. We got you. Good talking to you, bro.
Thanks, Eric. We'll see you soon.
Cool.
His battery's done run out.
It's the interwebs, man. The interwebs.
Yeah,
Sorry, man.
he's got one of those rechargeable headsets.
I want to say we've been out here for like a little over 2 hours. I'm good to go get me some dinner.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me something to drink and probably go to sleep.
Oh well, I won't be sleeping. I got work to do.
Well, you know, somebody.
All kinds of stuff to do still. I got appearances all week, and I got indie event tomorrow, and an appearance in the morning tomorrow on 1-2 Comic Talk, and Monday Madness, and Wednesday on Drew Esches show, and CromCon next weekend. It's gonna be a real busy week for me, bro. I guarantee you that.
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
But hey, I love doing it.
Well, I want to thank you and Eric for coming on and
We did answer all the questions, bro.
chatting it up.
We did answer all the questions, right?
Nate, can't go to bed this early. It's Friday, is it? Oh, it is. Dude, I'm old.
Yeah, I'll be out here for a while.
Yeah. Pops will be up to 3. I'll probably fall asleep and wake up again. And then, I'll probably wake up around 4 o'clock in the morning. I won't be able to go back to sleep. It'll ruin my Saturday, but whatever.
Hey, thanks for having me out, man.
Thanks, man.
I'll talk to you.
Thanks for joining us all. And I'll be back Monday night with David Papos with The Oz. Check us out then. Have a great night, everybody.